I mean, this is the first actual working concept. I'm low-key locked in. I'm kind of locked in. Okay, so that one actually works. Grok 4 has just released, and it is officially the greatest AI model that exists right now, or at least that's what Elon Musk and pretty much everybody that I follow in the AI space is saying. So I thought, in order to make sure that you guys don't fall behind, I would make a Grok 4 tutorial that explains to you guys how to do everything start to finish. So this tutorial is going to be split into two separate parts. The first part is basically me going to be walking through the entire Grok.com platform, because if you guys don't know, as of right now, you can only use Grok 4 within Grok.com. Obviously, in probably like in a couple of days or weeks here, they'll integrate it into X or Twitter, but as of right now, just use it in Grok.com. You get the full Grok 4 experience, so you're not losing out on anything, and you get it early. The second part is going to be the fun part, which is going to be me basically running Grok 4 through a bunch of different tests to kind of see and gauge just how powerful this model really is. And just so you guys know, I've already been playing around with Grok for a few hours already, so I already kind of understand how it works, and I developed a prompt that you guys are going to want to stick around to the end of this video for, because if you're trying to grow your business or even just make money online using AI, then this prompt is going to be able to help you more than you realize. In fact, I'm pretty sure people would even pay for this prompt, so make sure you stick around to the end for that. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've successfully logged into my account here, but we're not able to use Grok 4 just yet. So you can see on the right hand side there's a button that says Grok 3. Now that's what it's going to default to whenever you log into your account, because that's the free model that you can use. But in order to use Grok 4, we actually need to have a paying plan. So you're going to click on this button, and obviously for me it says I'm allowed to use Grok 4, but for you it'll say that you need a separate plan. So you'll click on that. For me, I'll just click on this to get taken to the same page, and then you'll see the plan that you need to use if you go pay monthly will be the plan in the middle. Now the super Grok heavy plan is going to be like the ultimate model, but ain't nobody using that much money, so I've just got the middle plan right now, and that's pretty much the plan that I'd recommend. As of right now, you get 20 queries with Grok 4 every 2 hours, so, and that's pretty much like, that's a good amount, so I really don't see a need to go anything more than that unless you're doing some major business operations. So that's what we're using for this video. That's what I recommend. Get that and then follow along with what I do coming up. And real quick, I should mention as well, if you are a premium Twitter member or X member, then you do get a discount depending on the level of membership that you have. I got a slight membership because I do have a premium, I believe. But anyway, now what you're going to want to do, that you have the subscription, you're going to want to click and actually enable Grok 4, so you know you have it enabled. One thing that I want to highlight here, okay guys, if you guys remember, I made a Grok 3 tutorial, and it's actually my best performing video on YouTube, so you guys liked it a lot, which is kind of why I'm making this one right here. But if you remember correctly, with Grok 3, two of the main features that they introduced was deep search and then the think feature as well. Now, as you just seen, when I enable Grok 4, it removes those features, and the reason why it removes those features is because those two features are actually ingrained into Grok 4, and you can't even turn it off, which is like, it's a good thing. It's also kind of a bad thing in case some people just want quick answers without it searching the whole World Wide Web. But regardless, those two features still exist. It's just integrated into the model. Cool, so now it's time to speedrun all of the features. Now in the top right hand corner, you're going to see a button that says private. If you guys are familiar with ChatGPT, it's very similar to the, the temporary chat in ChatGPT. So if I enable this right here, it'll say switch to private chat. You click that, and then as you can see, it says this chat won't appear in your history and will not be used to train our models. So just use that if you want like a quick conversation. You don't really care about saving it for your history or looking back at it. That's what you want to use it there for. We're going to disable that for now. Now on the left hand side of the prompt box, this little attach symbol right here, it'll open up a drop down menu. There's a bunch of different options that you can use right here. So as you can see, as always, you have the upload file. This is if you want to upload like an image or a PDF or a Word document, whatever the case may be. Then you've also got a new feature here, which is add text content, which is going to be if you want to add some kind of context, or you want to say, respond to this message in a certain manner. That's where you're going to put it right there. Then after that, we've got draw a sketch. So for example, you may say hi, you may click done, and then with that sketch that is kind of attached to the image, you'd say, hey, what did I just write? And it would obviously say, I see you just wrote hi. So that's what that does. You've got connect to Google Drive and connect to Microsoft OneDrive, which are extreme. I can't like highlight this enough. Those two options, obviously you don't need to do both, just one or the other, but those options are so significant and so crucial if you plan on running some kind of context through Grok before it actually comes up with an answer. So you can literally link it to a Google Drive that has 100 different documents related to you or your business or whatever, and it'll scan through those entire documents and come to you with an answer based on whatever context it went through. So those are extremely important settings to be aware of. Then you've just got recent, which is basically your recent chats and stuff like that. Now underneath the prompt box, you've actually got an interesting feature right here, which is basically going to be the ability to schedule different tasks. So if I click on this drop down menu, you can see there's a bunch of different presets right here. If you click on it, it'll come up with what, if you actually want to set it to a specific day or time or whatever. You've got 10 daily tasks remaining if you have the same plan as me. I don't really care about this stuff, to be honest, so I don't mess with it too much, but that's basically if you just want to schedule a task, then that feature is there for you. Alright, now the rest of the features are going to be on this toolbar on the left hand side right here, and if you don't know, you can click this button to kind of minimize it and then expand it again if you want to, if you want more space to work with or whatever. Now the top button is obviously going to be the chat. Actually, I should talk about the search feature. If you do have a certain word that you're trying to look for in your previous history, because you'll build up history over time and you want to go back and look at something, you can obviously, like any other any other website or anything, you can just click the search button, search in whatever word you're looking for, and that's how you use it. Then we've got the chat if you want to make a new chat. The files thing is kind of interesting because this will basically save all of the files that you actually give Grok, and as you can see right there, this is the drawing that I gave it before where it said hi, so it's actually storing that. You can obviously click the bin icon to delete it, or you can rename it if you want to. We're going to delete it right there, because who cares about it. And as you can see, there's a bunch of different options right here. If you want to create new files, you can create a new document like a PDF or a Word document or a Markdown. If you want to make a web page, code, a game, image, upload files, whatever. I do want to make something really clear right now as well. Grok 4 is actually not capable of generating images as of right now, but they have confirmed that it will obviously be able to do that in the future. So just keep in mind, guys, I'm not going to be going through and displaying the image generation because it doesn't actually exist right now. But let's go ahead and go through more. This is the task, so like we mentioned before, if you want to schedule a task, the task will appear right here. And then this is actually a really cool feature as well. If you want to separate your chats into different projects, so you might say a YouTube channel for one project, you might say business for another project, you might say fitness or gym for another project, so that you have these different compartments that are dedicated to whatever it is that you're working on. It's very useful for that if you want to create separate projects for each thing. And then the history is obviously, let me just open that up. The history is obviously just going to be all of the previous chat history that you have. That's pretty much all of the buttons up there. Now we're going to head on over to the button in the bottom left hand corner, which is going to be your profile picture. When you click that, you've got a few different settings right here. Now, I'll start from the bottom and work my way up because it's very simple from the bottom. Sign out, obviously, if you want to sign out of your account. Manage subscription, it's going to take you to a Stripe, basically Stripe dashboard if you want to cancel your subscription or whatever. Community is going to link you to a Discord. So Grok actually has its own Discord. Now, if you join there, there's like 30,000 different members, so I guess you can ask for feedback or talk to other people about what they're using Grok for. It's actually pretty cool. You've got report an issue, and then this is going to be the main setting right here, which is the settings tab. Now, if you open this up, let's start from the top. You start from account, as you would expect. It's got all of your account details. Then we head on over to appearance. If you're using anything but dark mode, then I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, system for me is but dark mode, so it's the same thing you'll see if I go back and forth. So you've got display your message in Markdown right here. If you guys don't know, Markdown is basically just a text format. Then you've got wrap long lines for code blocks by default. If you guys don't understand what this means, whenever Grok is coding, it has two options as to the way that it actually outputs the code. It can either make the code lines extend horizontally, or if you want it to stay within that box, then it can wrap back around to the start of the box. It really doesn't matter, to be honest with you, so I have it off, but do whatever you guys want. Then you've got show conversation previews in history, self-explanatory. Head on over to behavior. You've got disable auto scroll, I keep that off. Show follow-up suggestions, disable sidebar editor for code and documents, read web page contents of pasted URLs. You need to make sure that's enabled 100%. Disable typehead suggestions, don't know what that means, but it's off and I haven't had any issues. Then we've got customized. Now this is actually very important, guys, okay? So as you can see, you guys already know if you watched the last Grok tutorial, one of my biggest issues with Grok 3 was that it was an absolute yapper. I'm talking like this thing loved to write novels, and I'd have to say, make sure it's concise, all this stuff. In Grok.com, you have the option to actually essentially set a system prompt, and as you can see, this is what the system prompt would be right here. Respond briefly and directly using as few words as possible. Focus on the core point without elaboration or follow-up questions. Now, you have three different options that they provide you with, three different presets. So you've got concise, formal, like good day sir, how are you? Then you've got Socratic, which I believe is like philosophical, or kind of like trying to assume the role of teacher and student. And then the fourth option is going to be the custom option, which is if you just want to create your own system prompt by which Grok 4 will adhere to you with, then you can do that there. We're just going to keep it on concise because I don't like to read novels of text. Although I guess even if I wanted to, I could make a new prompt that includes concise and also includes elements from the other ones as well, like make sure it's concise but elaborate on points that you need to, so it's kind of like a happy medium. But for now we're just going to click on concise because it's easy. Then we move on over to data controls. Now this is basically if you want to share your feedback with the XAI team. I'm not going to do that. If you want to personalize Grok using the information that you have with X, by the way, my X account is linked with grok.com. If you want to do that, then you can, but it's not necessary to actually use Grok 4. Personalize Grok with your conversation history. So if you wanted to look into the history of your chats and use that to basically help it come up with future answers, you can do that. Your storage usage, you've got all of your files and assets you can manage over here, all of the links you've shared over here, deleted conversations. If you want to export your account data and use it for context and other models if you want to, then you've got the option right here, which is the doom options, if you want to delete all your conversations or delete your entire account altogether. Over here is going to be where you manage your subscriptions. So as you can see, we've got access to Grok 4, Grok 3, and these are the 3 different main features that we have. Then these are the different hyperlinks to basically manage your subscription. Over here we've got connected apps, and this is like we mentioned on before. If you want to connect your Google Drive or your OneDrive, that's where you will do it from. Cool. I know I've just speedrun that because holy, I do not like to talk about settings in these videos. Now, let's actually get down to the fun part, which is the testing. Alright, so just so you guys know, we're basically going to be starting with very simple stuff, and we're kind of going to make it more and more interesting as we go on testing Grok 4 right here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click the attach button right here. We're going to click add text content, and we're going to say, what's an example we can use? Let's just say, respond only with one-word answers. When I ask a question. Let's click add, and then let's say what's something I can say? Okay, how are you today? So this is just to kind of display the add text content feature. So if I say how are you today, maybe it'll say one word, which is good. Let's see. Thinking, and it should open up that document. Basically, paste a document, ask for one-word answers to questions, and there we go, bang, predicted exactly. I'm basically an AI at this point. So that's number one. The second thing that we're going to do is show the upload file feature, because we've done this with everything that we've reviewed on this channel so far. So I want to make sure that it's able to do this in a way that's on par, or if not better, with any other model that we've used. So as you guys know, give me 1 second, and I'll upload the image that we're going to use. Alright, so like always, if you don't already know, we always use the Goku Super Saiyan 4 image around here. So let's go ahead and say, who is in this image? Describe them intricately. Now, Grok 3 was able to do this, but let's see if Grok 4 is able to actually describe not only who's in the image, but exactly, what they're wearing, what they look like, and specific characteristics like that. So let's just go ahead and see here. Bang. Who's in this image, describe them intricately. As you can see, it's going to think. The image shows, this is actually really cool how you can see exactly the processes, the hoops that it's traveling through. Image shows a Dragon Ball character with spiky black hair. This character has a muscular build, red fur, orange pants, and blue boots. So it should be putting these things together. There we go, it matches. That's so sick, dude. Goku in Super Saiyan 4 form, muscular Saiyan with spiky black hair, golden eyes, fur, what is that even? Furrowed brows? Am I stupid? Gritted teeth, red fur on torso and arms, blue wristbands and sash, orange pants, blue boots with gold accents, long red tail. So nailed that perfectly. Couldn't ask for a better response even if I wanted one. So that's a check mark right there. Alright, the next feature taken up just a little bit is going to be the draw a sketch thing, and what I'm going to do here is make a kind of an abstract drawing, but see if it's still able to tell what I'm drawing right here. So let's just do a really shitty smiley face like that, okay? And let's chuck an eyebrow in there as well. Let's put the nose in. Now, based on that, okay, I know that's probably the greatest drawing I've ever made. Let's see if Grok 4 is able to determine what this actually is and basically identify it. So let's click done right here. Describe to me what's in this sketch. Let's go ahead and see here what Grok 4 is able to determine from this image. And the reason why I think this is a little bit of a step up from the previous one is because that's a clear-cut, very easy to identify image. This one, it kind of has to interpret, go through its own logical processes to be like, is that a smiley face? So let's see what it's saying right here. The sketch appears to be a simple drawing of a face with 2 eyes, a small nose, and a smiling mouth. There we go. Let me just click on this thinking right here. An image was uploaded. The sketch appears to be a simple drawing. Query asked for a description. Previous since I'm Grok 4, I can analyze. Okay, there we go, another check mark. So 3 for 3 so far. Now let's move on to something a little bit harder. Alright, so we're going to start ramping things up very quickly right here, but before I continue, make sure you guys join the free community. We're almost at 700 members now, which is insane, and if you do join the community, don't forget, there will be a tab on the left that says Learn, and if you click that, you'll have access to all of the free PDF guides and information that I've basically given to you guys completely for free, one of which will be the Grok cheat sheet that I made for Grok 3, which is pretty much applicable to Grok 4 as well. So now let me explain what we're going to be doing next. Now if I click on the files right here, as I showed you guys before, there's a bunch of different options that you can basically use Grok to do. You can use it to create a document, a web page, whatever. I explained it before. Now keep in mind, a lot of these things only Grok 3 is capable of right now, and Grok 4 is not, like creating an image. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a document first. So we're going to head back here, and by the way guys, just a pro tip so you guys know, damn, someone's racing F1 outside or something, but if you click document or you click any of these, it's going to create a document, but when you do prompt it right here, you're going to be using Grok 3, and there's no way to get out of that as far as I know. So make sure you go back to the start, not that, make sure you go back to a new chat, or we're actually going to continue our old one, which is this one right here. Make sure you go to a chat and then you actually select Grok 4 right here, because as you can see right there, it'll default back to Grok 3 if you use those options. So let's click on Grok 4 here, and let's say create a document for, let's keep it on theme, why don't we? So let's say create a document for an original Dragon Ball Z episode. Let's keep it simple. We'll say create that. It should be able to create a document here that'll basically fit into the Dragon Ball Z universe, but it hasn't been done before. So there we go, it's already started. Original Dragon Ball Z episode, Shadows of the Forgotten Wait, why does that actually sound like it slaps? I'm not gonna lie. So Goku discovers a lost Saiyan, an ancient warrior, forcing him to ascend to Super Saiyan. Okay, so in this case, I guess it's kind of integrating, the previous chat history right here, but it's still on the mark. So synopsis, Goku discovers, cool, we already read that. Main characters, plot outline, key scenes, runtime 22 minutes, redemption, power limits, ancient legacies. Okay, cool. So this would be the document that we created right here. And if we wanted to, we could just, copy, share this link, whatever, do whatever you want with it. But now what we're going to do with this, like I said, we're going to take it a level further. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to say, create a web page, or should I say website? We'll say create a web page based on the following episode. Make sure it's visually appealing. I honestly have no idea what it's about to create right here, but you're about to find out with me if it can actually create this web page. Make sure it's visually appealing. Honestly, we'll keep it at that, and then we'll just paste that, and let's see if it's able to create a web page based on the episode that we just created. There we go, Grok 4, you've got your work cut out for you this time. Let's see what it's thinking. This is going to be interesting. Create a visually appealing web page for a Dragon Ball Z episode description. HTML code for the website, cool. Output for the web page. To enhance visuals, images of characters like Goku, Super Saiyan 4, and Vegeta are needed. This is going to be sick. Let's see if it's able to extract from the internet, because obviously I didn't give it any images of Vegeta. Let's see if it's able to get one from the internet and put it together. Images include HTML for characters in the background. Browsing the Dragon Ball wiki could find images for character. This is insane. The webpage will use HTML5 with sections. Okay, cool. So now it's scanning different websites to kind of extract different images, and I'm assuming context as well. Ancient Shadows. This is sick. Okay, so now you can see the different websites that it kind of used to, go through in order to source whatever information that it's trying to get right here. And the cool part about this, guys, let me actually show this feature off real quick as well. If you do click this show all button, oh, okay, it just disappeared as soon as I wanted to click it. If you click the show all button, it'll come up with the list of basically resources that it went and looked at. And the sickest thing about this is that if you open this up, you can actually go directly to the website and see exactly what Grok was looking at in order to, inform its response. So that's actually one of the sickest features about Grok right there. Okay, let me close this because now it's starting to get a bit confusing. Okay, cool. So I guess this is the code at the top, and then this is all the stuff that'll be in the website. Not exactly what I wanted, so let me try and tweak this here in a second. Okay, now from previous experiences, I know that if you use Grok 3, then you can actually display the web page directly within the Grok interface. We're going to see, make the web page entirely HTML, And then if it's entirely HTML, we should either be able to run it within Grok, or we should be able to use an online HTML viewer in order to see what the website actually looks like. So make the web page entirely HTML and send the full code. Right, let's see what it comes up with now. So whatever it sends we should be able to plug into our browser in order to actually see what it displays. The user wants Dragon Ball Z episode website to be entirely in HTML. They likely mean to ensure it's a standalone, send the full code again, possibly with adjustments. Previous was already sent. Okay, well, I guess it's the same thing, but we're just going to copy and paste this into a HTML viewer and see what it comes up with. Okay, so let's copy that. Let's head on over to HTML online viewer. Let's pay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it actually worked initially. Okay, this is insane. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie, the images are obviously out of place. It looks a bit whack. Let's see. Can we expand this? No. Original title, episode title, cool. Go do discovers, cool. Okay, I mean, it created the website and it's got all the details. It's definitely out of whack a little bit right here. I don't see any places where you can actually run it within Grok.com, so I'm assuming that's only, as of right now, a Grok 3 feature. But if you wanted to, guys, just come on over to a HTML online view and you can basically view the website the same as I am right now. And by the way, guys, if you do come to HTML online viewer, you can always click the button in the top left-hand corner here, right here, to preview the full page. So if I do click that, it'll open a new tab. Basically, it still has the same little, issues right here where these images are kind of weirdly spaced out. But I mean, at least it scraped these images from the internet and everything. You've got the introduction. It actually matches Piccolo right there, Vegeta right there, Goku right there. I guess it actually is matched up, just in a weird way, I guess, because Piccolo is there, Vegeta's there, and Goku is there. So it is kind of technically matched up. But anyway, we're going to move on right here. Right, so now we're going to be taking it up a notch even further. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a game. And keep in mind, guys, it is going to be kind of, a nerfed version of what Grok 4 can actually create, because what we're using right here is we have to use entirely HTML to make sure that we can either view it in another website, the HTML online viewer, or we can view it within Grok.com. If it was to create a high quality version of what we're asking for, then we'd have to use Python and a bunch of different stuff, which we'd have to actually have installed into our PC. But I'm trying to keep this simple right here, so make sure, again, guys, you have Grok 4 enabled. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, create a cool game using HTML only, that I can run in Grok.com. Okay, make sure, and I realized this earlier, guys, by the way, you need to say make sure that it's not a text-based game, because if you say HTML only, it's always going to default to a text-based game, because that's the easiest option to go with. So we're going to say make sure it is not a text-based game, and we're going to run that simple prompt and see whatever surprises Grok 4. Let's see what you come up with. What kind of game can you muster up right here for us?
2,000 years later.
Alright, guys, so as you can see, it just finished generating here. It took about 250 seconds, and I can kind of tell it's a rock, paper, scissors game, so it did make something pretty simple. But this is the code that it gave me. Now, for whatever reason, this is the first time this actually happened like this, but for whatever reason, it didn't give me the code, and usually it'll present it in like a code box, which you can actually run a preview of within Grok.com. So what we're going to do is we're just going to simply copy it. It should give me the same thing there. We're just going to copy all of that, head to the HTML viewer, and we're just going to paste it all in. And then here we go. So this is the rock, paper, scissors game we have right here. It says choose your weapon, as you can see. I'm assuming that is paper. Oh, no, that's a rock. Okay, pretend that didn't happen. That's rock, this is paper, and this is scissors. Let's click rock. And then it says fight. Okay, what's happening here? How am I fighting? Like, what? Okay, either I'm missing something or something didn't work right here. We're going to try this one more time. We're going to say, oh, wrong tab.
6.5 hours later.
Just real quick, we're going to try one more thing, and we're going to say create a game that I can play immediately in Grok.com, where I try to, let's remove this, and let's say play immediately, where I try to avoid asteroids to get a high score, use HTML, let's say HTML, CSS, and JS. If you guys don't know, this is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I don't even know what CSS or HTML stand for, but basically three coding languages, three of the main coding languages. To be honest, that's as far as my knowledge goes on it. All I know is that that's pretty much the three core components that you use for a lot of things. So let's go ahead, and as you can see right here, we've got the actual code box that I was referring to before. and we should be able to preview it in this box right here. So let's see what happens if we click preview. Okay, well, at least we've got some kind of functionality here. It is almost absolutely impossible, but hey, yeah, that's a hard ass game, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, all the functionality is there. The score is increasing, we're dodging the asteroids. I mean, this is the first actual working concept. I'm low-key locked in. I'm kind of locked in. Okay, so that one actually works. So I guess, guys, if you do want to you know, test it in terms of how it can create games, make sure you're saying HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and I guess that's what works better. And I just wanted to try this in the actual HTML viewer real quick, and as you can see, it's a little bit better of an experience actually over here. So you've got a little bit more room to play with, it feels like. And there it actually goes game over score, and it has your score right there. So that's actually a complete game that we got right there. Alright guys, so now we're moving on to the final and most important point of this video by far. So we're going to create a new chat over here, and what we're going to be doing, guys, is going to be extremely important for you guys who are trying to grow your brand or grow your business or grow your you know, just make money online really. As you guys know, how YouTube works and how social media platforms in general works is that you want to find an outlier. And when I say outlier, I basically mean a video or a post or something that performed much better than that account's previous post, which is basically signifying that there's something in this topic right here that other people are finding interesting, and then you take that concept, use it for your own, tweak it up a bit. That's the whole name of the game when it comes to growing your brand. And so before I get into exactly how Grok 4 is going to help you absolutely boost this process, I do want to say, fittingly, I do have a agency, guys, by which you can see right here, we've got plenty of different AI services that we can integrate into your business or into your brand. So if you guys do want to work with us, we've got some testimonials right here. There is a free option to book a 30-minute consultation call right here. So if you guys do want to talk about anything with me directly, there's plenty of different solutions that I can offer you when it comes to you and your business that are going to have so many positive effects, like you can see right here, like lead generation, unlocking dead revenue with database reactivation, plenty of different stuff, guys. My favorite one is the AI caller because it sounds sick. But yeah, apart from that, guys, if you're an individual and you want to have a 30-minute consultation with me, it'll be $50. You can ask me any questions that you want, and if I can't help you, guess what? You get a full refund. Right guys, so now we're actually going to use the prompt, and thankfully I've actually got this copied and ready to paste, so you guys don't have to witness me spend 40 hours to type it. And as you can see right here, it says scrape Twitter and find me extremely high performing outlier post in the niche. Again, this is a template kind of example, so you just replace niche with whatever niche you're actually using, that I can use to create Twitter threads of my own. When I say outlier, I mean tweets that performed far greater than the usual performance of the account they were posted on. For each of these tweets, you must also include what their average likes are so that I know what I'm comparing it to. So for example, this is basically going to extract accounts that had a post where previously their accounts averaged like 5 likes, 10 likes, who knows, and then suddenly they've got an outlier which is getting like 5,000 likes or something, which then indicates, okay, they might be onto something here. Let me try and extract whatever, you know, characteristic made it go viral like that. So we're going to change this niche to our own, and we're just going to say AI education niche, because sometimes, guys, by the way, even with Grok 4, it can get overloaded if you say, for example, scrape all of Twitter and look at every single account that's ever existed in the past 500 million years. It'll literally reply to you saying, you know, information overload or whatever, try again. So you want to niche it down as much as you can. We're going to say the AI education niche, and then cool, should be good to go. Let's generate, and I'll be back once it's finished generating. Alright guys, so it looks like it's coming to the end of the generation right here. I just wanted to save some time and kind of show you guys the thought process that it had. Now, as you can see right here, it kind of started with interpreting everything I was saying. Then it went through, and again, I want to just highlight how sick this is. Okay, it's kind of annoying me, it's dragging me down, but these are all the tweets that it actually went through. So if I open this up, for example, or let's open this one up because that just looks like an image right there. Let's see what this says. So it should be based on AI education. This student wants to write him, but is forced to use it to get good grades. Okay, so it's tying in grades with AI, which is literally exactly what we asked for. And as you can see right here, it's got 6.6 thousand likes. Now, if we actually go to this account, what we should see is that 6.6k likes is far greater than what it's usually getting, and that's exactly what we see right here, guys, which is this. I can't begin to describe how insane this is, guys. You can literally see all of these tweets that it's getting right. Okay, it had another one that kind of did well right here, but for example, 52 likes, 31 likes, 35 likes, 13 likes. So you can instantly tell whatever it tweeted right there kind of broke the algorithm compared to all of its other tweets. And if we did that and we rinsed and repeated with all these other accounts, we would find the exact same thing. So now let's look at what it actually generated right here. So it said outlier AI education posts. We've got this guy who had 1.6k likes and the average is 47. We've got 1.2k likes, average is 102. 526 likes, that's not really that great, so that one's kind of a dud, but the average likes is 41. Now obviously this is just 3 accounts, so if you wanted to, you would expand the range, try and tweak it more to see if it can scrape more X accounts. But you guys understand the basic concept right here. It's basically just dragging out and extracting outliers from all of Twitter by scraping X and really giving you the best results that give you the highest chance of growing your brand or growing your business using the characteristics of posts that have already proven to have viral features. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm out. Bye.